There's a lot of anime within our community that has a lot of controversy that surrounds it. Shows like Evangelion, where the majority of the people like it and the others hate it, those shows usually go under like a 70 to 30 percentage. However, with Sword Art Online being one of the biggest shows of 2012, it seems as the community has actually come down to a 50-50 standstill. Whenever Sword Art Online is mentioned, flame wars seem to be brought up, collusions between the communities, and I can't help but wonder why. This was one of the first anime that I actually watched, or at least the anime that got me started down the path of no return. At that time, I was absolutely in love with the show, but now that the dust has kind of passed, it's time to really look at Sword Art for what it is. And what better a time to do it than with the second season airing right now? Is Sword Art really great enough to have the backing that it does from the fans that absolutely adore it? Or does it suck enough that the community members who chastise it have proper right to do so? Let's find out. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ocean Planet. My name is WK, and today we are going to be talking about Sword Art Online. Let's dive in. The story is really quite simple. There's this new game out. And no, it's not Call of Duty. It is the brand new visual memoirpega called Sword Art Online. Or, if you want to say it how Wikipedia says it, Sword Art Online. In this, there is a world like World of Warcraft, EverQuest, where there's beasts to kill, bosses to slay, jobs to be done, and guilds to be formed. Kirito, our main protagonist, is a player in this world, and for the most part, he is quite good at it. He's kind of the stereotypical gamer where he himself isn't super great in real life, but in game he is. So everyone is having a great time. Yeah, I killed a boar, to hype, too hype for you, get good. And then all of a sudden, boom, no logout button. From here on out, everyone is trapped to play the game until it has been beaten. And if you die, you're dead. Game over, no respawns. I believe this plot premise is a really good one, and it's what got people hooked in at first conception. It's high stakes, no holds barred. When people die, they die. It should have given the show an excellent vantage point. Look at what I can do. I have this massive world where I can create a good and expansive, compelling story. Unfortunately, this isn't the case for the most part. If you've been listening to the sides of the argument of Sword Art Online, then you have no doubtably heard about the story's huge change halfway through. To avoid spoilers, yes, there is a change, and a lot of concepts do get thrown out. In the latter half of the story, the stakes just don't feel as high, and this is what makes the second half somewhat forgettable. This is largely due to the cast of characters. Out of the pretty sizable cast of characters that are in Sword Art Online, the only one that gets properly developed is the aforementioned Kirito. You see him go from a lone wolf to a generally caring for a significant other type of guy. But the weird thing with this is the fact that he was a loner and is in general a gamer. With the amount of girls he has falling for him in an episode to episode damsel in distress setting, you unfortunately end up getting this smugness from him. This isn't helped by the show initially making him the best at the game. When it comes down to his intentions, he is in fact sincere. If through all the small stuff you might find with Kirito from time to time, the one thing you can't deny is the emotion he portrays when it comes to fighting and when he fights for the things that he wants. I just wish the main love interest Asuna was treated the same way. You see, she is the main squeeze. Oh, squeeze. However, for you to be main squeeze, you should be properly developed, and though she is to a point, she suffers from too little and too far between moments of emotion. This makes it kind of odd during the show, since she is initially shown as a tsundere and makes this total 180 by the end of the show to this quiet and shy girl. I miss the back and forth of the traditional tsundere yelling at the main character, and the main character's reaction to it, but alas, 'twas not meant to be. There was plenty of room for better development with a lot of the characters that gets pushed to the side, with characters like Klein, Heathcliff, and different members of the guild that Kirito and Asuna end up being in. I would have rather seen a blend of interactions between all these characters, with us as the viewers being more emotionally attached, but for the most part, some of the blank space in the show is filled with this unnecessary filler of Kirito rescuing girl after girl after girl. There is one more character I would like to mention in depth, and that is Kirito's sister, Suguha. I don't know how to say her name. She's his cousin, or his sister, or adoptive sister. I don't know. For whatever reason, they decide to make Kirito's sister a secondary love interest, albeit one-sided, to Kirito. Why? It's almost as if they figured out, oh, we didn't develop Asuna enough, so what's the nearest girl we have? Oh, his sister. Okay, you are the new girl. I mean, she is a good character, but that looming incest cloud that hovers around the latter half of the show is just too big to ignore, and ultimately makes the second half worse than it should have. Animation-wise, the studio that takes the reins is A1 Pictures, known for such shows as Anohana, Blue Exorcist, and the now-running Aldnoah Zero. It's pretty decent, let's hope it gets a little bit better. Animation-wise, the show does look absolutely beautiful. Their blend of colors and use of brights really accentuate the fact that they're in a video game, and the dark use of colors during some of the real-life moments shows a good comparison. The characters all look really great, even if some features were worked on harder than others. But hey, Nippon, right? I also got to give credit to the weapons shown throughout the show. They really are detailed and look like a drop from a raid. I see you, Ragnaros. I beat you, and your weapons are mine now. Music-wise, the show is also very well versed. Opening 1 Crossing Fields has got to be one of my top openings to any anime of recent times. The tempo change near the end of it to the end card with the crossing swords still gives me chills to this day. The second opening is kind of forgettable. Where the music really shines is during the big fight scenes. The score was comprised by the famous Yuki Kajira, and her title is well deserved. Belting choirs and heavy strings give you this right amount of tension to keep you invested in the fight, and shows just how much really is at stake. It really pains me to dive deep into this show. The very first time I watched Sword Art Online, the very first time, I thought it was a phenomenal masterpiece. In fact, I still kind of do to this day. But in actuality, I can't get over the fact that the show's flaws are almost equal to its strong points. I wish this show did everything right. I really do. No matter how much it can get bashed, I still love this show beyond belief. Yes, it might be fan service heavy and have some questionable love, and the characters might not all be there, but they were to me. Especially with the Season 2 we have airing right now, my excitement is just through the roof. Wait. No! Why? Is he a girl? No! How could you do this? No! No, but seriously, watch the new season. It's looking to be pretty good. Anyway, with all that being said, Sword Art Online, and I wish I could give it a better score than this, but with the aforementioned flaws, the show itself musters up a 7.7 out of 10. Once again, thank you all for watching, and until next time, keep swimming.